Welcome back, guys, to a new live day trading episode. My name is Julius. I hope you're well. We are back in the S&P 500 future. The market opens in 1.5 minutes. I'm trading 5 micro contracts here. That equals to amount of $25 per point. I hope you're all well. Right off the bat, please make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're interested in live trading. I upload a video every Tuesday and Saturday. So we are opening pretty high here. Price number 5,500, quite up high here in the S&P in a pretty little range, 10-point range, not that volatile compared to the previous days. The overall tops are here at the 72, so I'm probably gonna sell maybe already here at the 71 and a half at those previous tops in case the market should go up here. We will seek to buy the lows also already here at the 60 and a half, something about that. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Market opens in 20 seconds. As always, in a range like this, I will buy the lows, sell the tops. You know the deal, guys. This is my entry strategy to get into the first position, and then we'll go from there. All right, that's the opening. Let's see. Today's not that much going on, actually. Oh, okay, now here's a little bigger push. Let's see in which direction we will go here. As always, in between the tops and the lows of the range, I will not trade at all, because in my opinion, I don't know in which direction the market will head here. We could go in either direction. Currently, we are going long. So let's see if we are able to somehow get to one of those structure points in the near future. But in such a small range, the chances are very high that we will get to one of those points very soon. In some occasions, when the range is like really 30-40 points big, like it engulfs a big price range over the whole day, then on some occasions there might be a situation where we really do not get a chance to get into the market. Okay, so test the high again, and then I would be already tempted to sell. This shouldn't be it yet. Come on, test this price level again. It only tested it once. Usually it tests the higher price level at least twice. Come on, get up there so I can short this market. Okay, I'm gonna short up here. This is sufficient. Now at the 70, I got a little fear of missing out here since the market had such a hard time going to higher prices up here. But in the end, like 1 point higher or lower doesn't make the biggest difference. It's important that we are going short somewhere up here, and I did that. Let's put in the stop loss here. 1 tick above the tops, 25. 50 stop loss is right. That is a 2.5 point stop loss as usual, completely usual. Let's also put in the stop in the mini future because I am trading the micro, but I want to orientate on the mini, and it's the same in the mini. So far, so good. Account window also now activated for you guys, so you can always see the open P&L. I'm not using a automated stop loss provided by the broker, but rather just a red line, and I will close the position manually should the candle close above my stop loss line. Okay, so we actually tested higher price. We could have gotten in a little higher, but you never know. On some occasions, or on various occasions, I tend to enter a little too early to really make sure that I get into the position, because in backtesting, and I backtest a lot, there are various examples where the market did not test the overall top, but rather turned already a little lower or a little higher. So getting in early works for me usually okay. So today, maybe this was like half a point too early, but not that important in such a small range since the stop loss is not that far away anyway. So what does the footprint tell us? Okay, no surprise, we are taking our time here on those price levels. So as a result, we are building clusters here. I can repeat myself. I'm not looking at the footprint chart for any trade choices. I'm just looking at it for entertainment to really see what's going on here while we are waiting. Okay, all of my trading choices are being done here on a blank 5-minute chart. This footprint chart does not influence my trading. It's just nice to have to look at. Delta very bullish, and now we actually printing higher highs. Doesn't seem like a lot of sellers are currently there because the delta is not that far away from its maximum value in this candle. So of course some sellers entered, but not that many. And we are still a good way underneath our stop loss. We are still more or less at our entry. So everything is still totally fine. We could have shorted a little higher, as I told you before, but nothing to worry about. So now I want to see something. A first good sign would be if we are building clusters again in this candle on those price levels, okay? Clusters in 2 consecutive 5-minute bars here on the footprint could be an indicator that we are going short. So if you are a trader who's trading the footprint, this could be a sign for you. For me, it was just be some little confirmation, but would not change my behavior. As I told you before, I'm just trading on a blank 5-minute chart without any indicators. Okay, so the bears tried to go a little lower here, printing pretty negative delta, but are being bought back by mostly active market buyers here. Oh, there was again a big short order incoming. So maybe there are some bigger market players, bigger institutions perhaps, shorting on those prices. Those are the little things you can identify perfectly in the footprint chart, okay? That wouldn't be possible in a blank 5-minute chart. Nevertheless, you can still tell the order flow also only in a black and white candle chart, okay? It's just nice to have. So if you do not have a footprint because you're trading CFDs or whatever, don't worry. Usually it's okay to do it without it. Delta negative, but now bars bought back pretty serious. And here's the first cluster on a price level where previously a cluster has been printed before. This is what we want to see. Point of control moved and we are building more clusters now. So in theory, you could mark those price levels. So if you would now be able to trade underneath these clusters, because now they probably could still act as support. If we should close underneath, then the next candle would maybe find resistance there, okay? So far it could still be support or resistance, but something's definitely happening on those price levels. So we can tell for sure. And now this candle, look at that, how the delta switched. We got a big bullish order here. Big market participant bought the market here. I'm still kind of hoping that we are going short at some point, but currently it's not that promising. But getting the first trade wrong is no problem at all for me. Actually, it happens about 70% of the time that I enter in a range, but get stopped out because we get a breakout. And then I have the possibility to position myself in the breakout direction, okay? So now you would say, okay, if you know that 70% of the time your range will be broken after the opening, why position yourself first with the range? And that is a good point, because if I would go long up here, the chances would actually be on my side that we're going to break out higher. But it's a thing about the stop loss that would get really difficult to make it replicable over time if I would position myself always against the range in the first trade. Okay, if I would go long here, I actually, first thing, I would have to do it up here where I would previously go short. Okay, then I would have to go long here, which would be kind of a weird place to go long. Okay, by so be it. If the chances are on your side that you're gonna break out, fine. But where to put the stop loss? We go long here, stop loss all the way down there. Guys, that is a big stop loss compared to the one I'm having when I position myself first in the range scenario, okay? If we now break out, I catch a stop loss maybe 3-4 points. If I would go long here first, because I know that about 70% of the time I get a loser first and then the bar will break out, then I would have to do a stop loss that is about 11 points. And that won't make it too easy. And this is a small range. In bigger ranges, you might get even bigger stop loss. And I always want to trade with a fixed rule where to put the stop loss every time in the same way. So I have a replicable strategy that I can backtest. So I have to set a rule for the stop loss. And that would be very difficult with such a breakout strategy. And at least 30 to 40% of the time, the range is working. So I will first short the tops and buy the lows of the range. This is my way to go. I'm very profitable with it. And should the market break out higher, so be it. I'm feeling more comfortable first shorting here and not going long at the tops. Okay, what are we seeing in the footprint? Clusters, 2 consecutive price levels. This is a good sign, of a little confirmation that in theory we could definitely go short if a bar would now be able to close lower, but until now that is not happening. The bulls are very strong underneath. So until now we're not seeing anything in the footprint that may help us. So we can still take a look on it in the 5-minute. Also, I'm not using any different time frame. So a lot of day traders are looking at the 5-minute maybe to find the detailed entry level, but take a look at the 15-minute and the 1 hour, the 4 hour and the daily to get the bigger picture. I'm not doing that because I specifically do not want the bigger picture. Guys, you would be so confused about my strategy. I can feel it through the screen that you think to yourself, what an idiot. But this is my way to go because I'm thinking I'm more profitable in looking only at the very previous price activity. In this case, like everything that happened previously on the day. Nothing more. This is all I'm looking at. And it works for me. If I would want to see the bigger picture, I could by opening a 1 hour chart or something, but I specifically do not want to do it. It works for me just seeing what previously happened and then identifying my entry. And after the entry, I just go with the flow of the market. I do not need anything previously. So now that we entered here, I would probably not need more than this picture here. Okay, so if we were being stopped out, I would go long, set the stop loss underneath the lows here. I wouldn't need anything more. Okay, so once we enter the position and my job is done, I don't need previous history anyway. But if you're thinking that is completely stupid and you should never trade like this, please feel free to do it completely differently. Okay, that is just, I want to show you what I'm doing in the markets because I know that it differs a lot from many other traders. And I think I do not know anybody who's trading like this. And I've never saw somebody on YouTube. I'm not watching every trading video ever, but I did not see anything like it. So I thought, okay, why not publish my own live trading videos here, show you what I do differently. And I like this. I like the different take here on trading. I like using my black and white candles. It has also a useful meaning to it why I'm using black and white candles. I will probably in the future make a separate video about why my chart looks especially like this. This is not just preference thing, there's a thought behind it, okay? But I also like this old school, so to say, view of the markets. It's just so simple. Enough talk. I'm talking again way too much. We just should focus on what is happening in the charts. And as you can see, we printed a double bottom here on those two consecutive candles, and that will be kind of hard to break and is quite a big indicator for the bulls here. Now we got some news, I guess, but today aren't the biggest news. Not yet. There were some minor news in 15 minutes. There's the ISM services PMI that will probably have a little bigger influence on the market movement, but maybe also the traders are waiting for it to come out before entering very big positions. What immediately catches my eye is that we got 3 bullish positive deltas in a row since the opening, even though we got 2 negative candles. So this divergence immediately catches my eye and we immediately open again bullish. Those are the little things that I'm immediately noticing. You can also see that in the candlestick chart that the bulls here are definitely stronger by those candle wicks here. I guess we just have to wait here. I'd say in about 10 minutes, the traders will, at least in majority, wait for the news to come out. Until then, we might see some little movement, but so far not that much is working. We are still at our short entry. I will trade through the news. I know the majority of traders will tell you, do not trade right before or right after the news. I will hold my position through the news, even though sometimes I get stepped out, but that's the price I will pay. And right now it doesn't look too good here. The buyers are now trying to break out. Now we see the first real try of a breakout here, and we can immediately see that there are definitely some sellers who are protecting those higher prices, who are fighting for it, but the bulls seem to be very strong. So if I had to guess, and speculation isn't anything else but guessing, I would say that we are gonna break out long. Because we're building all of those clusters and currently we're not able to close below them. So there are still acting as support, lifting the market up. And as long as we're not closing underneath them, the chances are there that we're gonna break out higher. So if I had to guess, I would guess on that. Nevertheless, I will hold on to my short position until we are stopped out. Until a candle really closes above my stop loss, and I will reverse immediately to the long position. Until then, it's a waiting game here. As always, trading is waiting, guys. Unless you're a very high volatile scalper, then maybe not, but even then you have to wait for your good entries, because in scalping you do not have a very big stop loss usually. So, and this right here is the example of why I'm not using an automated stop loss. Should this candle now go lower, I would still be into the trade. If I would use an automated stop loss with a broker, I would have already been stopped out here since this candle broke my stop loss line for the first time. Okay, so this is basically the reason why I am only closing my position manually, because there is a chance that we're gonna go lower and I would be still into the trade. Again, clusters up here. So clusters are just prices where a lot of volume is being printed. Okay, so that usually means that on those price levels there's a big fight. Okay, so the sellers and the buyers are trading on those prices, a lot of volume, a lot of contracts. That is basically just what the cluster means. 30 seconds left and maybe we are stopped out. I would also have to watch it in the mini in case it gets very close, and until now it is quite close here. Still hoping for the sellers to step in. But also in the last 10 seconds, the bulls are having the upper hand. Okay, this candle still closed underneath my stop loss, so I'll probably mute myself and I'm gonna wait what this candle is doing. So I'm gonna see you in a minute. Okay guys, so it's getting really close if you're being stopped out or not, and the interesting thing about it is that in 20 seconds are gonna be the news, so I would probably prefer staying into the short position for the news, but I will do what I have to do. So we have to be quite quick here. 5 seconds left. Okay, gonna reverse long, and here are the news. Okay, hopefully I did everything right. I don't know how the news are gonna turn out. It looked bullish, but now doesn't look too good anymore. Okay, it doesn't matter. We have to move the stop loss underneath this low here. So far, so good. And we have to relax for a second, guys. The news are always unpredictable. Could go long, could go short. We never know. Important thing is that I acted completely right. $80 loss, still totally okay. I immediately opened a long position after the stop out, and now we have to wait on what's happening and take a look at the footprint. Pretty bullish delta still. So far really nothing happened. First 1.5 minutes of the news are over and we are there where we started. So hopefully we can still continue a little long. That would be nice. Let's see, the stop loss is not completely right. It needs to be underneath the low of the day, and actually this wick is a little lower. So we have to put it like this. This is the correct stop loss. Let's also move it in the mini. 1 tick below the lowest point of the day. Okay, so that is okay. Yeah, the news are pretty undecided here. Building clusters here. Here's a little absorption. Many imbalances have been printed up here. Let's see if we can test those prices again. Still 2 minutes left. So quite some action here today. We tried a short trade first. Did not work out. We have to be long now after we've been stopped out. And now we're gonna wait for the market to do something. So I think I'm gonna mute myself again and we'll just wait how this news candle will turn out, how the next one will turn out. And that should give us a clue on what we're about to see and what we have to do. Okay guys, so the market went back up after the news, after another retracement. I was able to move the stop loss from the overall lows to the low of the news bar. I have to check if it's the same in the mini. So in the mini, the low of the news bar is the 75.75. So stop loss needs to be at the 66.5. Yeah, look at that. We can even move it 1 tick higher. And I'm thinking that I'm gonna end today's live trading session here. I have an appointment soon. I'm recording for almost 2 hours here. We can take a brief look in the footprint. This could take a while. Probably we see another retracement. The market is building clusters here. Big trades indicator at the tops of the news. So it seems like here's a resistance. It won't get easy for the market to higher. We are in overall profit, $150 on this trade. We had a $80 loser before. So overall little profit. I will hold on to this long position. So far today is not that big of a volatility. Nothing really big is going on. So I'm quite happy with a little profit until now. I will let this long position run and then we see ourselves in the next video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you could learn something. It was quite funny to see how the news turned out. Other than that, not that much going on, but this is the real experience, guys. This is what a real trading day looks like, and I will post just my day trading. Even if it's not that exciting, sometimes it's more exciting, sometimes less, I will post it as usual because that's the real experience. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next episode. Take care of yourself, guys. Bye bye.